Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Reman Nico on the inside, and we're here, Nico, to review this Premier League game against West Brom. And I don't know, we tend to bottle it, and we've seen against these bottom teams where we dropping crucial points that if we were to really consider ourselves in a title challenge or title charge. These are the kind of points that you would be expecting to pick up now, the relegation teams. Their destiny, more or less sealed now in terms of relegation. So our ambition is to win titles, and we go into these games, and I don't know if it's because psychologically the fellas are ready. They just was not fit tactically. We wasn't prepared properly. I don't know. And that's what we're gonna get into today. With this scene.
Yeah. Good night. Yes, as Reams said, a disappointing result. I think more than ever or more than anything else, I think we disappointed the rest of the Premier League. I think we disappointed the EPL fans around the world. Because definitely people want to see a challenge. People want to see that challenge going up 1 versus 2. You win one, I win one, and we battling out for that final position. But as we're making it easier and easier for City to run away with it, because definitely it's really difficult to see anybody catching City at the moment. I know it's COVID and pandemic and all kind of different things is happening. This season you saw Liverpool get 7 from Aston Villa. You saw Man City got 5. So anything could happen. But I think at the moment we're really making it easy for Man City. I think we releasing the pressure on them, even if they were under pressure to continue getting results. I think right now we have eased that pressure, so I think they would start to play even more freely, more without even any pressure, knowing that they have to win. Because I could remember even some games before when they played Aston Villa, you could have feel the tension. You could have feel the tension in the game. You could have feel the tension in their performance because they know they were into a title battle. I think as over the past few weeks, we have released the reins and they have taken it up, and I think we have disappointed the rest of the Premier League, especially with this result against, as you would have said, a relegation battle or a highly regulated or most likely being relegated team.
Yeah, and interesting stats, and it's forming part of our the caption on this video is from the last 7 games, 23 points was up for grabs, and we only got 10. And as you put it so well, if you're really going in for a title charge, you can't afford to be dropping so much points. So let me just get one comment here, and then we'll get into the team sheet, right? Mr. Hackshaw, thanks for joining, man. He say psychological therapy needed. When Ali was vexed at the Everton game, saying we were not title chasers, that seemed to have permeated the team. Not like they wanted 3 points. I think that is more. I don't know what your thoughts on that is, Nico. But I think it's more of temper and expectation. But I know in the camp there would have been belief, but just more to temper expectation now, because the last thing you want to do is go out and say yes, we're going to run for the title, and then you fall short, and now you have everybody saying, "Well, didn't you say you was going for it?"
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's what it is. Psychologically. Yes, I think there are some players who psychologically not prepared to play for Manchester United. I think playing for another team with less pressure, I think they would do well. As much as maybe Lindelof could be a great player, I still don't think he's the answer for our centre back problems. I think if he play with anybody else, he'll be a world beater. But I think playing for the pressures are Manchester. So in terms of that, I think there are some players who, psychologically may not be a fit for Manchester United, because Manchester United is a beast in itself, and they really had to have that mentality to be able to play for United.
Yeah. Well, let me get into the team sheets now. We thoughts on the team sheets when it come off, and let me try to be as let's try not to let hindsight impact on your thoughts now, because when you initially saw it, I want to know what that thought process was.
Yeah, initially, again, no issues with the team sheet. I think the only change because Pogba in the team, so you would have known that you went with a McFred midfield. You know, the back four kind of more or less picked itself. The only change you would have seen really would have been the Marshall Greenwood change, and I could see that happening in terms of maybe rotating Greenwood. You know, into he played a lot of games before, so in terms of rotating them, I don't think Marshall is a bad choice coming in anyway. So I had no issues with the team sheet. You know, and in hindsight, I can't say anything in hindsight either with the team sheet. You know, I think Oli got it right. You know, everybody, yes, as much as Bruno started most of the games, which I think he have to. I think there are options to the front. I think there are options, and Greenwood, Marshall, Rashford, you know, Cavani. That rotation could happen at any point, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be put off by it. But no issues with the team sheet really.
Yeah, and fully agree. When I saw the team sheet, I mean, I remember I messaged you before the game started, and I say the decision to leave out Greenwood is an unfortunate one, you know, and it's really a kind of senior. I get the feeling that it's a kind of seniority thing now, you know. Because when you look at the game against West Ham, Marcel for me had a fairly decent performance. So you know, I want to bring him back in. Rashford seems to be undroppable, just like Bruno for Oli. So you know and then Cavani was rested in preparation for this one. So you know, unfortunately, the one sacrifice was Greenwood. But then again, you expecting these players, you know, coming off a win against West Ham in the FA Cup, not to mention more or less a full week to prepare for the game. You know what I'm saying? And it making me think because better we play every 3 days because you give us more than that and these fellas going like they didn't train for the week.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Very slow. Yeah?
But no excuse for me. The only thing at the start, as I said before, would have been the whole Greenwood thing. You know, it was unfortunate that he didn't start after his performances. You know, but by that, I was cool with the team going and thinking that we'd get it done, you know.
Yeah.
Let me just get a comment here. Hey, Simeon, welcome. He said nothing new, same issues as the last game of last season. Everyone from board down. Shake my head. Where would this team be without Bruno? And he didn't, and he's saying no Bailly. Well, I feel we might see Bailly now, you know. I feel we might see Bailly now, but Nicole, let me get to the game. Talk to me.
I think that was a disastrous start. You know, for some reason, as you would have said, we got now a week to rest, or a week to prepare more or less. We have gotten even more time than West. No, I think West Brom they won't in any cup games, but we have sufficient time to prepare for this game, and they would have thought that coming out of the blocks we would have been sharper. But you saw where West Brom was hungry; they wanted a result. They were playing against the might of Manchester United. You know, everybody when they come up against Manchester United has bring out the best. They did that from the start, and from the start they got a result. Again, looking at it, I could say as a foul, because what could have Lindelof done to prevent that? You know, the striker had his hand in his face. I can tell you, if that was Marshall or Cavani, did not play that for West Brom on the other end, it would have been called off. So I think I was very disappointed with that. I think yes, we know Lindelof is a Sophie type player. He's not up for the fight like how even a Bailly would have been up for a fight like that. You know, that considering that goal so early was definitely very disappointing. And even the decision for the referee to allow it was even more horrendous. You know, I think even during the game, the referee had some decisions that was very questionable. That a corner that he gave to the other team that clearly went off at the player where Marshall told him, ref, what was that? You know, this corner, you know, he gave a goal kick. And that challenges that Bruno got a stamp on his ankle and he just play on, you know, even if this player slipped, you know. So I think from the off, it was against us. And I guess the only reprieve would have been equalizing before the end of the half.
Yeah. And it's something I've noticed. It's a trend, and it came now. I know people will probably say, are trying to fight a battle here, but I realize since these managers, namely Klopp, Mourinho, and Lampard, since they went public complaining about Man United getting favor from the referees, which, as far as I'm concerned, wasn't even true.
Yeah.
You know, I found that decisions started to go against Man United. We could go back as far as Burnley, and even Ollie mentioned it in the post match. If the foul, which even wasn't a foul, that Maguire had to concede and we didn't get the goal against Burnley,
Right.
if they
Right.
consider that's a foul, then how that challenge on Lindelof wasn't a foul?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So, and all he asking for is consistency, and that's all we asking for consistency.
Yeah.
Because if you really check it, that would have changed the entire game. We would have to
Exactly.
reassess with game plan, and even though we would have, I know sometimes we would start the game a little bit lethargic, but we tend to grow as the game carry on. And sometimes when they concede so early against a team that going to sit back and maintain a defensive shape and be disciplined and resolute, it is be hard to break down. It is be real hard to break down. You understand? I mean, I know all of you guys probably wasn't on the best game, but when you're going psychologically, when you're going up against a low block and you know it's gonna be a long night, especially when the referee not on your side, it is be hard earlier. Going into the game in itself now, all I was saying, and I remember we had a discussion before about whether we'd have missed Pogba. We're seeing, right? Life without Pogba gonna be a tough one, especially when they consider the mentality of the kind of midfielders we have. We're talking of McTominay, and I was saying it before. Sometimes, we had to be very careful how we bumping about them fellas on them, because today we go talk real.
I have a point about that, but go ahead.
Yeah. Sometimes we talking real highly about them fellas on them, and then they just come and disappoint. But I'm not going on anybody. All know my opinion on McFred. They have their place, but I guess those see them as a championship winning midfield. But going on today, again, we passing decisions are what continues to irk the living daylights out of me. We just choose the simple, easy passes and sometimes in possession, you'll see men taking time and touching the ball and turning and twisting when passes are available to progress the football faster.
Right.
And I have an issue when our midfielders taking too long to transition the football and we are allowing the team to set back up. I saw it happen so much times today, especially with the main culprit, Mr. Fred, who I think didn't particularly have a good game today. You understand? A lot of wayward passes.
That was coming too. Go ahead.
Yeah, he trying plenty Hollywood passes. I don't know. I mean, the man confidence high, and I don't have an issue with that. But no where levels are. I know Fred still trying to shoot when you could pass to a better option. Your passes, you're trying those killer passes when better passes open, and you're giving up possession in a game where we need to actually try to keep the ball and progress the ball a little bit faster and a little bit wiser. And I had an issue with that in the midfield. We just complain, and I mean, I know sometimes rightly we had to talk about the front line, but sometimes we don't give them enough to work with. Cavani struggled for service today. You know what I'm saying? And what then we will go and say Cavani not good. And that's the same problem we seen with the likes of Marcel and Rashford. They're not good. But the kind of service them fellas feeding off is real scraps. You know what I'm saying? How them fellas expect to deal with a low block when they hardly getting anything to work with. Anyway.
Yeah, agreed. As you're saying, I honestly I don't think McTominay is the problem. I think Fred is the problem. I think Fred do offer, as Callum would have said, we cannot win a championship with Fred in our midfield. I know he said about McTominay also, but I personally think that McTominay has improved a lot. And if McTominay is playing with quality next to him, you would see the best of McTominay. I think Fred is very limited in what he does. Most what Fred would do is break up the play and most of the time try to play the ball forward to find somebody, right? And we saw the moment that do happen, where he is wayward in his passes, where as you well said, his decision making, they're trying to shoot, is off, then Fred do really have a place. Come here, playing with a man short, right? Because he's not adding any quality in the final third. And if we trying to break down a team, then you need players with quality on the ball. You need technical play. You need players who can pick a pass. And all Fred could do is break up a play. Because in a game like this, right, where we have majority at possession, then Fred, we don't need Fred because we need a player who could highly possibly score a goal. Fred can't do that. So yes, as I would agree, I give it today, yes, we would miss Pogba because technical on the ball, he have the ability to create, to score, right? And I think McTominay is coming in his own in terms of being a goal threat. You saw it today, unfortunately, he was cleared off the line, but you saw he's a bigger of a goal threat than Fred. So I think he really should, if you have a quality midfielder to play next to McTominay, you could get the best out of McTominay. You know what? I think Fred, as Callum always said, the Venezuelan, I don't think we can win a championship with the Venezuelan in our midfield. It's just too basic and too limited.
Yeah, and exactly. And we saw it even against West Ham. We saw it against Everton. When a team prerogative is to come in and frustrate us and sit back with a low block, then Fred is not the man. Simple as, Let's look at a team that go maintain possession like a Man City or Liverpool, right, and you want that kind of industrial energy to break up play. Fred is your man, But I'm talking here earlier. I don't normally defend Fred. I'm talking after watching 3 games with the opponent setting up similar, and Fred did not have any impact. He's trying to do things that is not in his locker, and he's frustrating. Let me just get some comments here. Hey, Peter, welcome on. He's saying, when we know teams are going to sit low, why not play men like Mata or even Beak at the start? Because we played Fred and McTominay to do what? They are not playmakers, and I am not getting down at these guys, but I'm emphasizing our team choices. That's correct. Plus, you can see Bruno can't be the savior every game. This is where coaching decisions is most important going forward. Very, very good point, Peter, man. He's also saying the only good I see is that Shaw helping with the creating chances, and Rashford should not be playing on the right. It is good to see Martial was taken off because I thought he was going to stay on longer. Right? We'll get back to that. And Simeon is saying, what's the point of Fred if we're still giving up opportunities on the defensive side? That is also a very interesting point. You see, Simeon, I could answer that to him. And I alluded to it earlier. Fred confidence real high right now. So Fred feel he could do everything. He want to defend, he want to attack, and he's doing more attacking now. So if he attacking more, then his defensive responsibility go always be playing catch up.
I think Oli knows that. That is why in games where we would normally have possession, he would have played Matic, right? Because Matic still, he mightn't be as quick on the foot, but he's sharp in the mind. And in terms of passing, his passing range might be a little better position and would be better, just really to recover and recycle and go again. So I think Oli knows that, I think maybe Matic a bit out of form at the moment. I think Matic had some horrible games in the past also of recent. But I do think it's much different other than Fred. But that's Fred, that's the energy. That you need difference. But still, I think Matic's name should at least come back up, to maybe play with even a McTominay, because I know you might say with McTominay even, but I still think McTominay is a better pairing, than a Fred.
I don't know. I just think I had started to like what I was seeing now. I mean, and I don't like to get carried away on one game. I always say it earlier, we go berate a player now and then against Sociedad on Tuesday, Fred could have a master,
Yeah.
But I had started to see something that was really interesting with Pogba and McTominay against Everton, and that injury mess up what it could have turned into if Pogba lasted for the full 19, and then Fred came on and it just messed everything up. I still believe that Matic and Pogba is the best center pairing. I think they complement each other. Because Pogba as well like to do. For me, McTominay, in terms of what you want from the player, a little more similar to Pogba, but just Pogba better. right? In terms of being the box to box now. And Matic is the one who could hold. To see McTominay do it with Pogba, I don't know. I don't know. I don't
But
know.
as you know, said they saw it working a bit, eh?
Yeah.
Pogba got injured.
Yeah.
So
Let me get some.
even with that, you could see where even Ollie find that maybe Fred form is dropping a bit.
Yeah. Simeon saying Big needs a hard slap from someone. I really want to see him play, but he wants to be part of a great team when the team needs him to drive them to greatness. Similar to Bruno, he needs to take initiative. Shoot. Let me talk about Big when he came on today now, because I was shouting at Van de Beek when he came on today as well. Because when he came on, we were trying to go for it, right? And I still see him not traveling with the ball when he had the ball at feet. You're making back passes as an offensive-minded player. You're making back passes and running into a space that's heavily secured defensively by West Brom. So it's like you didn't prove to me that you actually wanted the ball. All you wanted to do was complete a pass. And then you run and you go and stand up between three West Brom players. So I was trying to understand. I understand to extent because something that I noticed Kagawa, I don't know if you all remember Shinji Kagawa used to play for he was good in spaces. You give him it and he able to, turn and make things happen. But I haven't seen enough from Donny to say, well, if you give him it in a tight space, he able to do something and get out of that situation to make a proper pass or to create something.
I think that maybe a good player, wrong team. Because I was listening to after the Arsenal game, who was the guy? Was one of Arsenal great centre backs. I'm forgetting his name now. And he was talking about Smith Rowe in terms of his one touch ability. Everything is one touch and move, one touch and move. When we berating Van der Beek for that, and this commentator rating and raving about Smith Rowe for his one touch and move, which to me they play in a similar position, but he's been rated for his one touch and moving, while we berate Van der Beek. So I think maybe is a right player, maybe wrong team, wrong system. I think he has the quality, but I don't think he's the player or the style that he plays which suit our brand of football. I think his brand of football is a more quicker transition type football where you have players moving, because he can pick a pass, he does see a pass, he have vision to pass. But I don't think we have enough movement around us, to really get the best qualities out of him. I think we are too static and too stagnant to really get the best out of Van der Beek. And until maybe that change, I think you'll be a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah. Now you bring up a real interesting discussion there, Nico, because I want to talk about our system. Does a system exist in how we display? Because if I honest with you, I could look at Liverpool, I could look at Spurs, even though Spurs system and brand is mess. It's identifiable. Man City, their system or their pattern is identifiable. What is our style? What is our system? How we display Nico now? Don't tell me quick transitions. I think that because when you see a team sit down low, we always be rift of ideas. We look clueless, and and I realize it's something with the way we play. We rely heavily on individuals to do magic. I.e. Bruno goal today, right? But I can't see where we actually something was identifiable leading to that goal. What is Man United style of play? What we are about?
I think bringing Cavani into the team would kind of identify to that we want to use the wing backs as much as possible. We want to use the Shaws and the Wan-Bissaka again. If that is the style you want to play, then you definitely would have had a question why is Wan-Bissaka, right?
That is again to we're talking about Van der Beek square peg in wrong hole, but then they bring in Cavani and then Wan-Bissaka can't cross.
Yeah. You know, so again, so I think that is when we're not playing, like we say a team like City that we went to counter against, or a team like Liverpool we went to counter against, so we know is our strength more or less. But how much teams in the Premier League like that? So how much times that we will really be successful doing that? Because after, like we say, the City and the Liverpool, right? Because Spurs playing deep anyway, then you had to have something different for the other 17 teams, right? And if it is for the other 17 teams, your style is going down the or using your wing backs across to players like maybe Akavani or whoever is in the area, maybe late runners coming up to the midfield, because we know we see Pogba doing it a lot, where Pogba will be arriving late onto crosses. But then when you look at your fullbacks, you know when you start to see the best at show, right? You're still waiting to see if what Wan-Bissaka could do, and if we going for a title, then we need consistency. You know, we need to know, like if it were Alexander Arnold, especially last season, every time he go up that field and cross that ball is quality. You know, if Wan-Bissaka get two crosses for 90 minutes, two decent crosses in 90 minutes, he get plenty. So if that is the style we want to use to break down teams, then I think Oli lost the plot in recruitment, and I think we're struggling with that right now.
Exactly. So there's where the question lies, because there's where the problem lies, because you have players that don't suit how you want to play. Probably for the Man City, as you were saying, the Man Cities, we have a team that could, absorb, tackle, and break.
All right.
But everybody though dominates us. A lot of teams realize
Exactly.
that they could sit back and they will be happy with a point, or even try to nick a win. And
Yeah.
we seeing where that's happening. So I am asking myself now, because if you look at the likes of City, you look at Liverpool, how Liverpool would have been playing, when they were a good team, right? You could have see Mane and Salah go be working, and
Yeah.
even if a ball coming in from Trent, because you talk about crosses coming in, we can expect Cavani to fight off 3 and 4 defenders. You understand? So is that really a thing? What really going on there,
Right.
right? Then when you see the likes of Rashford have a ball, Rashford running into brick walls. Why Rashford, when he picked up the ball, he had a feel he had to carry the whole team. Similarly with Martial. Martial on the next side now looking for 1-2s, but Shaw don't have 1-2s. You know what I'm saying? Then Bruno shooting from everywhere. So I ask myself, do we have a cohesive game plan that when we go into games we know, well, A, so and A and B, and so if this tactic don't work, we switch into this one, and then patterns now,
Yeah.
because I'm not seeing patterns. So I'm asking myself, we had a whole week to train, or what all it was working on. And there's something that very, very concerning to me if we go forward, because teams will sit down and teams will look and say, hey, yeah, what's going on now, man? Low block, counter, set pieces, and we beating that team. Just rough up Lindelof. Maguire might be sleeping. Maguire might be sleeping. The referees, kind of have it out for them. They hear don't come out of the box. We bound to get something. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So I don't know. Let me get some comments, Nico, and then have a next thing to talk about, right? Um, Peter saying, I think McTominay is our defensive midfielder going forward. He just have to get a bit mature and knowledge of his role he has to play. And he reminds me a lot of Carrick. You're sure by Peter by Carrick? So I
No,
think it's good work.
he improving. Uh-huh.
However, we need more movement. We're too flat-footed. Very correct. Um, hey Kevin, welcome. Thanks for joining, man. He said more passes from Fred. We had 663 passes compared to their 385. I don't think passing isn't, or I don't think passing is the issue here. West Brom had 17 clearances. They defended with everything. About five,
Top
about
team.
five top teams lost points to them. I agree. Low block does kill we. What is the best way to break down low blocks? Patterns, Kevin. Patterns. And clearly, we do not practice patterns. I don't like to say it, Nico, but sometimes I feel we use freestyle and vibes. Anyway, go ahead.
In terms of the passes, yes, we have 600 63 passes, but how much of those passes were forward passes? How much of those passes, cut through lines? How much of those passes, was really threatening passes? Because especially the first half, other than the goal that Bruno scored, I think the only person had a shot on goal, I think, was Fred, and that ball was actually more or less trickling to Sam Johnson in goal. So yes, we had 663 passes, but to what effect? I don't think it had an effect on the chances created. So if he has so much passes with minimal chances created, then the passes really don't count for anything.
Yeah. And I think that's what we were saying before. They opt for the safer passes. I don't know if them fellas and them just go back home after and look and check to see the stats now. Hey, I get 90% pass completion, but all right, this time none of them was useful.
Exactly.
Peter saying, oh, he's agreeing with Kevin. He's saying, but we need critical passes. And I think this is what Nico was just saying, not just passes. Most of the passes was sideways and back and forth. Yeah, we need to have more vision passes. That's correct.
Yeah.
That could break down low blocks. Plus movement without the ball is critical also. And you know what?
Transition game way too slow.
Yeah, and I really think what we need to buck up onto is we need a little more intelligence in the final to the 1-2 passes. All of them things work. Watch against. I don't know how much of you all would have looked at the game when City play Spurs. Spurs is a when I say, even though they've been making a lot of defensive mistakes, Mourinho is always known for how he set up his defense. And what beat Spurs yesterday was the intricate passing in the box between Foden, Sterling, Gundogan arriving late, and all we do have enough of that. I remember last season when we had those nice intricate passes in the middle in the box. Players used to trip way up, and that's how we get the whole penalty Penchester name. Why we move away from that? Why we not doing that? You know what I'm saying? We need to get more intricate passes in the box all year. God, man. Anyway. Nico.
Yeah.
So,
second half yet? You need second half?
Go ahead, go through.
All right. Reams on the view of the second half. We lucky to come up with 3 points today.
They here come out bigger. I don't say that they here come out bigger.
Yeah. I think we're lucky to come up with 3 points today. I think the only real chance we had in the second half was the chance when Maguire had the post with the header. That was late. That was the only last play of the game. The chance where McTominay and somebody else would have had the ball more or less clear off the line. Other than that, I don't think we threatened them in any way. However, on their side, I think they had some golden chances to win the game. I think the first one was with Maitland Miles. A better quality pass, striker would have been on to goal. The other one would have been with Maguire, which to me, it looked like a foul earlier. To me, it looked like a foul because I tell you, if Cavani did that to a defender from West Brom, it would have been called a foul. But the hair came up big for us. So, and twice, in that split moment. So I think definitely we got away. And then again, after that, it had a cross where the striker should have scored. It had a cross where the striker should have scored and it went over, it went wide. So I think we were fortunate to come out with the 3 points today. I think at 1 point for us
with 1 point. With 1 point.
I tell you, coming out with 1 point was a blessing. I think the second half to me was, as much as we huffed and we puffed, we didn't really create any chances in the second half, which was disappointing to me. Knowing that you equalize late in the second half, same on the right. Your back level, you can turn it on in the second half and win the game. We didn't see that, and the only team who we could have seen winning the game today would have been West Brom at some point.
Yeah, you're not about trust at all. Kevin saying, I don't think y'all giving West Brom enough credit. They were piranhas in the box, snapping at everything. He's also saying they broke up everything incisive. Every incisive pass we tried in their box. Every team that set up on a low block against us, Kevin, they look good.
Yeah.
And I will go back to the fact that we don't have any patterns. We don't have a structure in terms of how we are attack teams that sit back. On a counter, we will slaughter you. Once we get the final decisions correct, we will murder any team. You know what I'm saying? But anytime our team sit back, they just always look good. I could go back and tell you about West Ham because even West Ham, that game that them push to the 120th minute in the FA Cup, Sheffield United when we lost 2-1. Defensively, they were cleaning up everything that we sent at them. You know, and all I'm saying is if we able to go back and try to set some defined patterns at play as to how we want people to attack instead of depending on Bruno to score a scorcher or for Rashford to run through the whole side and score, or for Cavani to just magically get a proper pass and score, then we can get nothing. You know? So all I'm saying is I want to see some patterns at play. I want to see some 1-2s in the box. Let me see some give and goes. Let me stretch the defense in because we keep playing the ball wide, right? And they're going to continue to compact their box because that is all that they know we're going to come. That's where we're going to end up eventually. So crossing our ball where it's a 4 or 5 defenders for Cavani, you'll get lucky. But that's not sustainable in terms of, well, every time you do it, it will work. So I don't know.
It's like we had to find a way to mix it also. You know? Mix it. So it can't just be one way, because if it's one way, with the quality of players in the Premier League, they could stop it. As long as they're doing one thing all the time, they'll come up with a plan to isolate that. But however, we have to mix it. We have to be intelligent. You know, we have to be intelligent, see where the spaces are, see where the team is weak. Within the game, that is where I guess the coaches, that where you have some leaders in the team who could see certain weaknesses in the team and try to exploit that. You know, I think that is where we definitely, you know, mix it up, look for where the team weak and attack them there, and yeah.
And you know, and you bring on Greenwood, you know, which I thought was a good sub because Greenwood came on looking lively, but it didn't change what we were doing. And this is sometimes why I want to see where you make a sub that will change the game in terms of from a tactical point of view, a tactical standpoint, where you could see, well, hey, we do something different. We're playing different now. Okay. All you really do was bring on Greenwood, you put Rashford on the left, you put Greenwood, and Greenwood was running at players. If Greenwood had started, that's where he was going to get anyway. So I want to see some more from a tactical standpoint where we're seeing the players actually working on things and they're coming out on the field. And if strategy 1 don't work, then I bring on Greenwood and he's going to employ or he's going to ignite strategy 2. Right. You know, and it's going to be the same way Greenwood trying to break through the side to get across in Cavani, you know? Hey, Junior. Hey, when Arsenal will win, just see this man coming in.
Boy. Yeah, you curl out of that hole, boy. You curl out of that hole. All out at as yet.
Thanks for joining, Junior, man.
Hey, Junior. Good night.
Simeon saying, from the time I saw 10-man Southampton break easy on our defense, I realized we're in the same outhouse as earlier. West Brom attacked with purpose and confidence, and look how it took how long? Yeah, I think 2 minutes or so.
Listen that.
Yeah. So Nico, do we know now? I mean, City 8 points ahead of us.
I think 7 with a game in hand.
But we're still second.
Right.
You know, 1 point, 11 points.
We're getting sucked into the rest right now.
Yeah. Because we level on points with Leicester City, right?
Yeah.
All right. So do we forget the title race and start to focus on finishing second or top 4?
To me, it's about that. To me, it's really about taking one game at a time. You know, however happen, one game at a time, then where you end up. Focus on one game at a time. Okay, who's our next game?
Newcastle.
Right, Newcastle. Focus on Newcastle. Focus on getting a good result against Newcastle. And then after that, whoever we play, focus on getting a good result against them. And to me, we have to do it on a game-by-game basis. You know, don't look too far ahead in terms of, all right, we do have a chance, or all right, let me fight for the top 4. Let's play the games ahead of us. And I guess, and if we do that, and we do that diligently, I think if we do that professionally, we put out our best efforts towards that. I think definitely wherever we end up is where we deserve to end up. However, I think if we say, well, here what, let we just fight for a top four, I think there's a punk out. There's a easy way out for Manchester United. You know, yes we should think about, you know, maybe we could make up space on City, but I think definitely, you know, we should just think about winning the next game. You know, I think we are a bit of a rut now in terms of gaining 3 points. So about now it's about consolidating and focusing on each game as they come.
All right, nice, well said. Hey, Arvin, welcome and thanks for joining. He's saying I agree with Reem. Once team set up that low block, we have no system ideas to break down our defense. You see it game after game. I also think the guys lacking a bit of football IQ. Looking at the passing, yeah, football IQ is a serious
And
problem in the team.
it's not only football IQ, but it's just quality. You know, quality and football IQ is two different things. I think it's just quality in the passing. Because if you look at some of Fred passing, you know, it's atrocious. You know, so I think quality is a big factor in that also.
Yeah. Kevin saying yes, one game at a time. We are still in a good position. Everton lost today was good news.
Yeah. Two to three
City have
losses.
2 to 3 losses in them. You feel so bad?
Very nice. But again, and even looking at Everton loss, that shouldn't be affecting us. Everton loss, what are they doing? You know what I mean? You know, but exactly that is what happening now because we're getting sucked back in to the whole mire now that we're looking at results are like teams like Everton and you know, and we're glad for that now. You know, but it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. So, Nico, as a referee, I want to, yeah, touch on it a little bit earlier. I really want to get into some of these calls today, right? Because I think, and we've seen it happen time and time again, and I want to go back in particular to the Sheffield game where the referee association came after and admit it was wrong. And if that, I mean, things like that, does affect a lot, you know, position on the table, points, and, you know, it's have a knock-on effect, right? Today, it had 3 or 4 calls that I thought had it not gone, if had it gone in our favor, the game could have been won, right? One, we talk about the foul on Lindelof. I thought that was a foul, right? We measure it against calls. There's no consistency. Secondly, right, a team on a break, Nico, and you blow that whistle before halftime for halftime, by you're for real. Nico, that was a 4-on-2. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing about that call especially, right? When we draw the game against Everton, the full time, we say the 4 minutes was already up.
Yeah.
Like over how much seconds when let me say when the foul happened, you know, and you continue that, So when we having a chance to score, right? You're blowing the whistle. To me, that was definitely one sided. It definitely showed there is some type of bias against Manchester United. Because if you could have continued to play when we play Everton, then why, you know? So as you would say, it definitely don't have any consistency with the referees and the referees in the Premier League, because you see even with some of the handball decisions today, right? It had some handballs decision. I can't remember the game it was, but I think it was Southampton, right? In the Southampton game, it had 2 handball decisions that again very questionable with no consistency.
Yeah, but the one I wanted to ask you about in particular was the one where we had the penalty shout. When I saw it, Nico, I've seen so far penalties given. I thought there was an infringement. I know that there was the argument that Maguire was probably offside, but didn't even consider the offside, and they just said it wasn't a foul. What's going on? I don't understand.
Yeah, that one I still baffled with that one. I think overall, I think the better decision was made with not giving a penalty, to be honest. Yes, I know it was against us, but I think Maguire was offside, right? And to me, that should have taken precedent in terms of the decision. And then you had a frustrating thing because about 3 times in the game at set plays, Maguire was offside. So why it is all these times? Why it is you can't hold a proper line? Because in the offensive, right, today, about 2 or 3 times, he was in an offside position for a free kick. And then in the Everton game, right? You're deep playing everybody on side, right? So definitely, I think Maguire really had to watch that line. You know what I mean? He had to be more responsible. He had to take more responsibility in watching that line because even when you're starting the free kick, you're offside. I don't know what you're trying to do. Trying to stay on side because if I honestly felt if he stayed on side today, that may have possibly been a penalty. You know, but
No, but Nico, the next.
I know that, but I don't know if the communication. I don't know. I don't know, but I know the referee say no foul. But I think Maguire being offside anyway make it an easier decision. With Maguire being offside, make it an easier decision for the referee. Right? No foul, drop the ball and there we go. Because it to me wasn't going to change because you're offside.
At the end of the day, offside or no offside, I think the referee's decision are costing us. You know, people used to claim that we used to be getting referee calls and favoritism, but we've seen it now where it's like they really have it out for we, right? And it's impacting on our games seriously. It's giving teams the opportunity to feel like they're in the game, and it messing bad with us, you know. And finally, we talked about it before, as I on the point of the refereeing decisions, the chance where they had to come and pull we out of that hole. I don't see we lost that game there.
Yeah. Until we lucky to that point. We lucky to come out with that point today.
Hey Kurt as usual, boy. Oh God, boy, you're late, boy, Kurt, boy. But thanks for joining anyhow.
Good night.
Kevin saying Maguire was playing the offside trap whilst in attack. That was football IQ.
Yeah. As Arvin said, football IQ again. Football IQ. You can't be serious.
Good saying Klopp and he partner getting to the refs' heads. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Klopp, Mourinho, Lampard, all of them fellas, and them, man. Right now we working against the mafia too, you know. Yeah. Finally, Europa League back, right? So we back to Thursday, Sunday football earlier, you know. So no more Saturday football, at least until we get knocked out of the Europa League, you know. How you think we should approach this Europa League tournament, boy? I mean, we seeing where the fellas need some confidence. We seeing that we need a trophy. We need some proper performances because we have not been performing well, and we're going up against a Spanish team. And them Spanish teams, they're good.
Yeah. Initially, I would have said maybe go out with the academy guys and whatever happen. But I think having a change of heart, and having a change of heart because I think we need the confidence going forward. I think we are a bit low on confidence at the moment. We have dropped a lot of points within the last few games. I think going to Sociedad or going to Turin, right? Going to Turin and we say being beaten off the park or really not turning up. I think could possibly dent or not do anything good for the morals at the moment. I think the morals are low at the moment. I think we need a bit of a upspur in some way. I think we need a bit of a confidence in us. I think a good performance against Sociedad, which we know will be a difficult game, which would even make it better. And you could go and put in a good performance, build a bit of confidence, to bring back to the Premier League. So on that standpoint, I will go with a decent enough team. Yes, we could see some changes. Yes, I could say about in the team. Who else? Maybe even a Mata. Maybe there's a game that maybe Mata could play in. So I could see a bit of changes, yes, but I think still keep a strong core and try to build confidence to bring back to the league, because I think as we always say, the league is a bread and butter. And right now we need that confidence back into the team and back into the league.
Yeah, well said. Simeon saying, but we are united. The margin shouldn't be that slim, but that is our reality. I think you're right, but you're also right in saying that is our reality. So the football, the football change. We are Man United, yeah, but the margins, a lot of things coming out to find margins, and you see it even with Liverpool. defending champions and they being beaten off the park as well. So yes, I understand we are united, but these fine margins, it is what football is now. It's that kind of dominant and you're beating off teams off the park every week. Wins are sure like that, back in the days with Fergie, you kind of watch the fixture and say, okay, well, these games is food, so we go play. Nicky Butt, you and this next one, Johnson go play striker. We go win that game for sure. Only the Chelsea and the Liverpool game and the Arsenal game, we go really had the big guns playing. It's like that again, Simply, you've seen Fulham stepping up and getting teams run like Fulham beat Everton today, So I hear you, Simeon, but football really evolved by change plenty, So it is needed the right calls to be made, Good saying we need some centre forwards. Rush and Marcel had nothing there lately. Plenty of the players' confidence low. And I guess that's a result of not winning convincingly and winning, playing properly now,
And proper service too.
Proper service.
When you feel enough scraps, it's difficult.
Yeah. Especially when you're seeing the free space, but then Fred taking long to get it or Shaw reaching up on you to get it.
Right.
And that time about 14 defenders are on you already. Simeon saying play by see the tempo, the team tempo change. I ain't doubting that. Something by just bring when he come by. You're good. But oh God, I can't rely on them by Simeon. Kurt saying I agree with Nico. Give them academy players like Hugel and Ilanga run out. Yeah. Let's not take Nico point at all.
No, but that was a point of view in the past. But because of how we are struggling for form at the moment, I think we should play a strong spot. But I think Ilanga injured at the moment. Hugel decent. I think he does have a bit of physicality to really play in the Premier League. But we really have we are real quality in the academy, especially going forward. We are real quality in the academy or the adjustment.
Yeah. The quality in the academy looking good. I don't like to use the under 23 league as deceiving.
It's quality. Maybe not everyone will be able to play for Manchester United. But I think some of the quality we have in the 23s would definitely make a decent career for themselves.
Yeah, I saw this guy, Shola, where's his Shotai. Yeah, I think I saw him sign a contract. He decent.
Simple and real decent. I think even Hannibal, as much as he have a bit of a temper, real quality also. And we saw Diallo quality. We have a lot of quality, and you would have talked about Galbraith. You have been raving about Galbraith. You have a lot of quality,
I really hope them fellas and them get it the loan for the exposure, so that they could at least challenge at the level that they expect a player to when they come in the first team.
Yeah, a player in the academy realms that I really like, but hearing about him is the left back. Is Fernandez. That left back is real quality. The touch, the going forward, the crossing, decision making. I can see him training with the senior team for preseason. The managerial quality.
Okay. Nice. Could say, remember I told you guys, in time to come, we won't be shopping outside for too many players. Yeah. But my only thing, guys, is I want them for us to get the kind of exposure. So because Ethan Laird, he doing real good right now, right? I was glad to see Ted and Mengi go out on loan, and he made his debut this weekend, and Baby won, right? Even James Garner.
Yeah, he doing well also.
Two games back to back, he get the man of the match for Nottingham Forest. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what I want to see whether these fellas could come into the first team and really play, because that under 23 level meant you're killing men in that level and you're doing them all kind of thing, and then when they come up now, you're looking like Angel Gomez or Tai Chong. So you're fluttering to deceive. So I really want them guys go out and get a experience. But Kevin making a good point here. He said Rashford and Greenwood extractor, don't forget, we pulled them from the academy and they made a
Yeah.
impact. So I guess inbuilt in the system, there are those that will come in and take the chances. No problem. That's correct. Um, Kurt saying yes, Nico Fernandez and later on next generation wing backs. Yeah. You're also saying Levitt is another midfielder area like he. You know. Anyway, guys. So we wanna bring it. We wanna wrap it up here. Nico, any closing thoughts?
Um, Again, as I say, another a disappointing result. As I would have started, I would to finish. I think we disappointed the Premier League. I think we disappointed the fans of the Premier League. I think everybody wants to see um, a battle and a fight to the finish. I think we kind of relinquishing that. However, we still have games to go. We getting sucked into the bottom. We still have to fight to get out of that and to stay in the position we in. So we still have a lot to fight for. Let's say keep our heads screwed on. Continue to at least I don't know. If we continue to work on the training field because as you were saying, we don't know what we was be working on at all. Um, but it's just to continue to, continue to hope for the best results. I think the game in the week definitely would be a good one. It would be I don't know if it says advantage for us, or maybe no advantage at all. Maybe in the holistic view, it will be advantage to us because I think the second leg will be playing at home, which I agree with Ollie in terms of if it's like that, better we play a one leg affair, where there's no advantage to anybody. Yeah, so going into the week, are we looking forward to that game and hope we do well.
Yeah, we always ask for a response. We always demand a response from the team after a poor showing. And today was by no means a good showing. Today was definitely a poor showing from front to back. And I mean, we kind of continue to question our defense, whether our defense is really a championship winning defense. And I'll repeat what Sir Alex Ferguson has always say, great defenses is winning championships, they win titles. And I think when you look at opponents and quality opponents like Real Sociedad, tactical teams, very, very clever, intricate. They know how to break down teams. They know areas to capitalize on. So I really not expecting an easy fight against Sociedad. I thought that we get a real rough draw. We just always get rough draws in these cup competitions. But I mean, we have it in front of us. And to be the best in some instances, you have to beat the best. And I think we're really going to be up against one of the better teams technically in Europe. Well, the second tier competition. And that being said, if we're able to put on a good performance and get a result, it'll go a long way in building confidence and self-belief. Because I think for the minute, the team seem to be, kind of lacking in that area now. You see it when players lose possession, the heads drop in. You see it in some of the body languages of some of the players. Next thing as well, we still see where players being abused racially after performances. Players being singled out and abused when the performances sometimes are everybody playing badly. Why we singling out individuals? So that's something I really hope that the authorities could fix and deal with, so that players don't feel threatened. When they're just doing what they love. And we will give the last comment to Kevin here, saying we will finish top two for sure this season. Remember, Kevin Chef Williams on Valentine's Day 2021 said that. Well, I mean, I have a next question, but we will leave it probably for next time, right, Nico? And the question is, how do we consider or how do we measure progress this season? So keep that in mind, guys. We might come back to that some in our review in the future. So have a good night, guys, and we'll see you all on Tuesday as we review the Europa League clash in Turin. This is Real Sociedad.
Yeah, good night.